plan. Former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke breaking campaign fundraising records. He raised $6.1 million in the first 24 hours of his campaign. That tops Bernie Sanders' $5.9 million 24-hour haul. Lee, you have some dials for us showing how voters are reacting to Beto O'Rourke. Here he is last week in Iowa, where he compared the climate change fight to D-Day. Watch this.
Those who were on the beaches in Normandy, those who faced an existential threat to Western democracy and our way of life, they showed us the way. We can all come together, we can unite, we can marshal the resources, and we can convene the countries of the world around otherwise unsolvable problems. That moment is now for us on this issue. So if there's a time to reassert global leadership and make friends instead of enemies, it's today, because the challenges are too great.
So interesting, right? This was a pretty controversial topic. A lot of people are saying outrageous that he's likening climate change to D-Day. And yet you saw the dials there. Democrats loved it. They gave him an A. Republicans and independents weren't even that bad towards it. What he was saying is he wants to reassert American dominance to solve some of the big challenges of the day. People were buying it. There's something about him, and I've got to say this. There's 3 Bs to watch. He is one of them. And Beto is absolutely capturing the hearts of people. People say they feel like they already know him. They trust him. And there's something there.
So there wasn't in that dial testing where he's talking about climate change in D-Day, because the reaction of a lot of people would be like, fighting climate change is nothing like D-Day. Yeah. All the Americans sacrificing their lives. It was a nation pulling together. That's not really what he was getting at.
No. It wasn't really what he was getting at. What he was saying is it's time for us to get in the middle of things and reassert American dominance, just like we were able to come and help solve the big challenges of those days. Now, when he did
make America great again.
That's what's so interesting, because we're going to look in a second at Kamala Harris about her middle-class tax cuts. There's a lot of similarities here, striking similarities between what the Democrats are saying and what Donald Trump said before that resonate.
So I started to laugh when we were playing that, because he was talking with his hands.
Yeah. Like, Trump's tweet coming to mind?
Because speaking, being someone who cannot talk without using my hands, he was even a little bit overboard.
He's like a symphony conductor up there. He's like, really? We're going to give him some coaching, but so we're doing a good job so far.
Okay, let's move on to Bernie Sanders, among the top contenders in the growing Democratic field. Here he is speaking last week in New Hampshire, calling President Trump the most dangerous president in our lifetime.
This campaign is not only going to defeat Donald Trump, the most dangerous president in our lifetimes. This campaign and the government we are going to create is going to transform our country and create an economy and a government that works for all of us, not just the 1%.
Bernie's the second B I say to watch, because look at that. The Democrats off the charts. They gave him an A+. Obviously, independents and Republicans were totally turned off by him. They gave him an F. But the job of the primary is to get elected as a Democrat. Obviously, he's winning there. And the thing that he's doing is that he's talking about policies that the Democrats are supporting, Medicare for all, a living wage. He's talking about these things that whether or not we like them, a lot of people do. And he's a force to be reckoned with, for sure.
And let's get to Senator Kamala Harris talking taxes. $500 monthly tax cut to families making less than $100,000 a year. Here's how voters reacted to her plan.
I am proposing what has been described as one of the most significant, one of the greatest tax cuts for middle-class families in generations. If you are a family that is making less than $100,000 a year, you will receive a tax credit that you can receive at up to $500 a month. Well, let me tell you how we're going to pay for it. We're going to repeal that corporate tax cut.
So you can see there what happened. Everybody was kind of on board with her biggest middle-class tax cut, who's that sound like, ever, with $500 a month. And then she said, and the way we're going to pay for it is repealing that corporate tax cut. And you saw the independents and Republicans take a nosedive. That's because the independents and the Republicans understand the corporate tax cuts are as vital to the economy Everybody else likes the idea of tax cuts for the middle class. So very interesting, though, because she's taking a departure from all the other candidates. She's talking about tax cuts. A lot of them are talking about health care for all.
She's actually talking about universal basic income, because if you make less than $100,000 a year, you're going to get a tax credit. That's basically a check.
It's that's welfare. That's welfare through the tax code.
Right.
If you're, and by the way, we already have nearly half the country that pays no net federal income tax. So how many people are you asking to shoulder the burden of increased government spending? A government that's already running up the debt. The debt's now at $22 trillion. We're running close to running $1 trillion a year in annual budget deficits.
I mean, we have to pay very close attention, though, to what's resonating here. This is the kind of messaging that is resonating with the American people. The socialist messaging, the anti-capitalist messaging, the anti-big business messaging, the giving more people more money, Medicare for all. Those are the messages that people are responding to right now, and we've got to pay attention, and we've got to see how do we counteract those.
But, Lee, to your earlier point, those are resonating with Democrats, and this is for the primary.
That's right.
The question will be, are those issues that are going to work in a general election?
It's a good question, but you could see Kamala Harris, when she was talking about it for the first part of the message, independents and Republicans weren't that tuned out. I mean, they weren't saying this is terrible what you're doing. They weren't reacting the way you are, saying, hey, this is a rebranded of welfare, right?
I want to get to Elizabeth Warren, though, because the people's reaction to her is, well, let's let Lee say it. This is her commenting on the socialist label. Listen to this.
Bernie has to speak to what democratic socialism is.
But you are not one.
And I am not. All I can tell you is what I believe, and that is there's an enormous amount to be gained from markets, that markets create opportunities.
There you go. She said markets create opportunities, a little dip in the dials, but here's the problem with Senator Elizabeth Warren. People listen to her and they snore. There was absolutely no reaction there. What she was saying, I mean, if you're listening to it, she had a pretty free market message there. That should be something that's pretty positive. With independence.
No. She doesn't, but at least she doesn't have a free market message, because her proposals are actually more socialist than what Bernie Sanders is proposing.
But what she was saying right there should give people pause.
But people know what her message is, and they go, well, you're a big phony baloney. That's why they react that. They said, wait, you want to confiscate wealth in this country, and then you're saying that you're not a socialist? Hogwash, hooey. Take it home and put it in your suitcase.
She's not much of a force, I should say. When I was looking through some of the responses, we have both, we do the dials, and we also ask people what they think. She pretty much gets tuned out among everything else. People just don't pay much attention to her, and part of it is because they're saying hogwash. Part of it is saying, I don't think she stands a chance. But I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time and energy really focusing on her. I think it's Bernie, Beto, and Biden are the three to watch, and Kamala Harris, too.
And because people watch her and go, you know what? You've been lying about your family background since the 80s. That's what people think. They look at her and think that you called yourself an American Indian, you've called yourself a Native American, and then you tried to sell us some bill of goods about you didn't tell these fibs, and you didn't get ahead on it. And people, I think that hurt her more than anything.
I think it did hurt her a lot.
The ultimate identity politics faux pas, as the Wall Street Journal called it.
Well, that's a lot of baggage for her, because you look, even when she commented on the universities scandal, and everybody's like, oh, really? You didn't know what it's like to use that in your favor? Come on.
Thank you, Lee Carter. That was great information.